Chapter 2, Promises in the Shadows. Lin Xiaoyue sat on the edge of her bed, the gentle hum of the city filtering through her window. The warm rays of morning light stretched across her minimalist room, illuminating the faint lines of concern etched into her brow. Just hours ago, she had taken a monumental step by extending her heart to Lin Haoran, and yet the enormity of that moment loomed over her like a storm cloud, both exhilarating and terrifying. As she sat there, memories of their interaction replayed in her mind. The way his grayish-blue eyes sparkled with the same warmth that had once captivated her, the sincerity in his voice that had melted away years of uncertainty, and the lingering tension that hovered in the air like a promise unfulfilled. With each thought, the pulse of her heart quickened, mixing excitement with dread. Taking a deep breath, she pulled herself away from the allure of nostalgia. She needed to face the day and the challenges ahead, particularly the responsibilities that awaited at the family business headquarters. Her role as CEO had become increasingly demanding, and now, with Haoran back in her life, those responsibilities felt more daunting than ever. After a quick shower, she dressed in her usual business casual attire, a crisp white blouse paired with tailored trousers. She chose a simple pendant necklace, its delicate design mirroring the hope that was growing in her heart despite the weight of anxiety tethering her thoughts. As she gathered her things, she resolved to approach the day with the same resilience that had brought her success, and a renewed focus on the possible steps toward healing what had been broken between her and Haoran. Stepping outside, the city breathed around her. The energy of honking cars, the distant laughter of pedestrians, and the comforting rustle of leaves filled the air. She made her way to the office, heart racing at the thought of what awaited her there. Upon entering the family business headquarters, the atmosphere inside felt as alive as the city outside. Employees moved with purpose, exchanging ideas and laughter. Yet beneath the surface was a growing tension. The impending board meeting loomed over them like a dark cloud. As Xiaoyue headed toward her office, she knew that today's decisions would shape the direction of the company and inadvertently affect her personal life. She opened her office door, surprised to find Zihan already waiting inside, her chic silhouette cutting a sharp figure against the modern decor. Zihan's expression was unreadable as she perched on the edge of her desk, her medium-length straight hair framing her sharp features with elegance. "Xiao Yu," Zihan began, her voice confident yet measured. "I trust you've heard about Lin Haoran's return?" "Yes, I have," Xiaoyue replied cautiously, shutting the door behind her. "Why are you here?" "Well, given the circumstances, I thought it was essential to discuss some potential developments." Zihan's eyes sparkled with a competitive eye. "Just remember that we're in a competitive industry. Lin Haoran's charm is well known, and it could easily sway stakeholders in his favor." Xiaoyue took a steadying breath, reminding herself that fear and insecurity could not dictate her actions. "Then we'll need to keep our communication channels clear and maintain solid strategies. But I refuse to make decisions based solely on feelings. In business, I've learned to keep my heart in check." Zihan's expression softened for a moment, as if she recognized the barriers Xiaoyue had built over the years. "I see you're playing it close to the vest. Just remember, I'm here to support you as a business partner. We both want the same thing: success." "Thank you, but I'm also aware that involves open communication." Xiaoyue turned, staring out the window toward the city beyond. A flurry of emotions washed over her as she thought of Haoran, and despite the tension with Zihan, dots of clarity began to connect in her mind. "Let's focus on the upcoming meeting and present our best ideas," she finally replied, turning back toward Zihan. "I'll ensure we're ready for anything." With that, the intensity of their conversation shifted to strategic details about market analysis and potential partners. But deep inside, Xiaoyue felt a constant hum of uncertainty. a notion that her heart was still entangled with someone who could disrupt everything she had fought hard to establish. As the meeting approached, Xiaoyue stole moments to gather her thoughts, pondering the promises buried in the shadows of her feelings for Lin Haoran. They were promises of vulnerability, trust, and a second chance, an opportunity to reshape their future together. Yet the past stubbornly clung to her, a reminder of the fraying threads that had bound them before. After the meeting wrapped up, a whirlwind of names, statistics, and strategies lingered in her mind. She had managed to maintain a strong front for her peers, but now there was no denying it. Thoughts of Hao Ran swarmed her like wolves circling their prey. Almost automatically, she dialed her sister's number, hoping her energy would act as a buffer against her emotional storm. "Xiaoyue, how did the meeting go?" Ji Yuan's bright voice resonated through the phone, instantly lightening her mood. "It was good, really. We made solid points." Xiaoyue felt a thread of authenticity weaving through her response. "But I'm still trying to figure out how to handle things with Hao Ran." "You have to talk to him," Ji Yuan chirped with enthusiasm. "You can't bury this under meetings and reports." "I know that, Ji Yuan," Xiaoyue replied, a tinge of frustration coloring her voice. "But it's complicated. What if stepping back into his world leads to more problems than before? Or what if it leads to the answers you've been searching for?" Ji Yuan countered, her youthful tenacity shining bright. "We can't keep running from the past, Xiaoyue. Sometimes facing it is the only way to." She grabbed her journal from its spot on her writing desk, the place where many of her fears had materialized in ink over the years. Slipping onto her cozy couch, she opened the pages and began to write about her feelings for Hao Ran. Writing allowed her to explore the complex web in her heart. She expressed all the hopes and fears, the unresolved longings tied together like strings that were beginning to loosen. The act of pouring her heart out onto the page brought a wave of catharsis, as if her emotions were finally being recognized and validated. As her words flowed, she realized that she was ready to meet with him again, to give a voice to the promises they had both made in the shadows. The tension of uncertainty was still present, but beneath it lay a current of exciting possibility. When she finished, she closed the journal and felt lighter, empowered. Taking a deep breath, she picked up her phone. The prospect of connecting with Hao Ran again was both daunting and exhilarating. Yet this time she wasn't merely driven by memories, but by the promise of what could be. With determination set firmly in her mind, she found Lin Haoran's contact information and hesitated for a moment, her heart racing. The past echoed around her, filled with lost moments and missed chances. But she was no longer the same woman who had watched him walk away 10 years ago. She was Lin Xiaoyue, determined and navigating the complex passages of her heart with newfound courage. With a deep breath to steady her trembling fingers, she sent a simple message. "Can we meet? I think we have more to discuss." As she pressed send, she felt a mixture of trepidation and excitement surge through her. The stakes were high, and she was standing at the precipice of everything she had wanted, a chance to reshape her past and confront the shadowy promises that lingered above her like untapped potential. Now all that remained was to wait, to embrace the uncertainty, and to hope he would be willing to discuss the journey that lay ahead together.